Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Tea Time English with Tana. Today I'm going to share with you 5 main principles for learning any language from basic to advanced in a short time. You will also receive useful free resources that will help you master your speaking skills on your own. So let's get started. Principle number 1. Learn your vocabulary in context. When I was studying English in the beginning, I used to have a dictionary with random single words that I didn't have a clue how to use them in sentences. And as a result, I often used them inappropriately, causing confusion to the people I was talking to. When you encounter new words, write the whole phrases down, and not separate words, and don't write their translation. Use simple words in the language you are studying to explain their meaning. For example, to achieve a goal, to get a desired result. This way, you will stop translating in your head when speaking. Now, I check new words in the Cambridge Dictionary and write the ready phrases down in a friendly app called NOTEX. It's a great app where you organize the words in separate squares and then you can move and highlight them according to what you remember. You can also create as many folders as you need for different topics. You can see I have 6 folders with lots of words. And I still use it because it's very simple and comfortable. For example, a phrase to put effort into something means to spend a lot of time on something. And then make a few sentences with a new phrase related to your own experience. It needs to be a meaningful context. For instance, I put a lot of effort into my work. I put a lot of effort into studying English. Mix new and old vocabulary together. It's easier to remember when you connect it to something that you already know. For example, a new phrase to put effort into something and already learned to achieve a goal. And here we have, I always put a lot of effort into achieving my goal. When you learn the words in phrases, you remember them automatically when there is a time to express yourself. First, review new words 2 days in a row, then again on the 5th day, 7th day, and following week. Also, I would like to mention about the most advanced translator that is called Reverso Context. It is unique in its nature. This app provides with the most relevant and accurate results based on millions of real-life texts. If you are not sure how to express yourself in the language you are studying, open this app and write the whole phrase down in your own language. And it will find hundreds of results of different sentences where your phrase is used. Or you can write something in the language you're studying to check the way this phrase or word is used in different sentences. There are over 15 languages and 60 million users, including me. Let's say you want to check how to use our new phrase to put effort into something correctly. You type it in the search bar and you're shown a number of sentences with this phrase. I consider this app the best one. I'll leave the link of this app in the video description. Let's move on to the next principle. Don't study the language, study content. Think about your goal of studying the language. Do you learn for work, traveling, or perhaps meeting new people? Consider your interests and find materials accordingly. If you are interested in some successful or famous people, read articles about them or watch their interviews. Personally, I have watched plenty of Elon Musk's interviews, and now I can talk about rocket technology that is very useful. The most important thing here is not to focus the other way around as I did. I focused on the language, not on the content, and I failed. I was failing for 4 years at the university in speaking fluently, boring text learned by heart and random words in my dictionary with Russian translation. Eventually, I became suspicious that either something was wrong with me, that I didn't have a talent, or that something was wrong with the English language. So focus on content, not on the language, and you'll have great results in speaking, vocabulary, listening, and by the way, you'll be more motivated to study. Otherwise, you'll just master your grammar. If your language journey is positive, you are more likely to put in the time needed to succeed. Principle number 3. Start speaking the language from day one. You get to know the language by using it in communication. For example, if you are passionate about traveling, watch or read about your favorite places, the things you can do and see there, the hotel you can stay in, and take some notes. Then check a travel agency website and there are options of tours there. Find the contact details of the tour agents that will be happy to answer all your questions and have a nice conversation with you. Call them and have a talk. Practice and take advantage of it. And maybe even book the trip if you like the sound of it. A lot of people have language classes twice a week. Imagine you would use your native language 2 hours a week. Would you remember it in a few months? I bet you wouldn't. The same with the language you are studying. Invest more time in it. Practice a little bit, but every day. It can be 20, 30 minutes, or 4 hours if you have the time. And one more important thing to remember, try not to take a break if you haven't reached a specific level of fluency. You'll forget most of what you learned. It should be an ongoing process, like a baby learns, from simple things to complex ones. Back then, I didn't have anyone to talk to and to practice my English with. I came across a website, Interpulse, where there are a lot of people from around the world, and my real journey of learning English started. It's the fastest place where you can find as many language partners as you want. I haven't used it for a while, and now I have the 980 unread messages from my potential language partners. I described my experience of using Interpulse in my last video, and I also shared the most useful websites and apps such as HelloTalk, Free4Talk, and so on, where you can find your language partner, interact with native speakers, and join free speaking clubs. Check them out. Let's move on to the next principle. Work on your language accuracy by retelling. I consider this method the best one for becoming more confident in speaking and accurate in grammar. So find some really interesting articles or text on your favorite topics. Read and retell them a few times by using its structures and phrases. Summarize and give your own opinion on what you've just read, and relate to your own experience. A perfect way for an introvert to start talking. I remember watching TED Talks and pretending to be a speaker who was talking in front of people. I retold these videos and shared my own experience. That's how I increased my vocabulary. I'll leave the links of my favorite talks in the video description. Let's move on to the last principle. Imitation as a key to receive a desirable accent and the right pronunciation. I used to have a hard Russian accent with a hard R. I remember on my first day of university, I said cucumber, and everyone laughed at me. I thought it was a disaster and my nickname forever. Totally new classmates, teachers, and it was me with my embarrassing pronunciation. And also my favorite one, I think, not think, but sing. I started watching TED Talks, dozens of them, and imitated speakers. Films are a good idea as well. If you are passionate about an English accent, it's good to learn it with Hermione from Harry Potter or with Emma Watson, her current interviews. Switch on subtitles and repeat after the speakers. First listen, pause and repeat. This is the best way to gain an accent you want and remember plenty of phrases. For those of you who are at a beginner, elementary or pre-intermediate level, I'll leave the links of the short series that you'll find really amusing in the video description. Trust me, my students love them. And for others who are more advanced, I suggest watching TED Talks. Choose your favorite topic and get watching. And remember, the person you spend a lot of time with will affect your accent. While learning the language, you will always try to imitate the people you are talking to. It happens subconsciously. So make sure you consider it when choosing a language partner or a tutor. Follow these 5 steps and you will grow your language quickly. You will see the results already in the first month and could become fluent in about 6 to 8 months. It depends on you. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, click the like button and share with your friends who are just starting or struggling to speak.